Irene Disemelo and I am the founder of Nibblepack. So Nibblepack started in 2019. Initially when we started, the idea was to do prep meals for clients according to their diet. So we would cook the meals, package it and deliver it around Joburg. At the time it was specifically in the Joburg North area. So I started Nibblepack when I was in corporate. I was working in corporate for 4 years. I did a degree in investment management. So the idea was to go into investment banking, become an asset manager. But then while I was working in corporate, I did always have that feeling that I can do more. And I always felt that corporate was limiting me. So in that sense, I then started to think about what is it that I can do outside of corporate. Growing up, I've always been into nutrition, so I've always loved eating healthy. Also, I was very overweight when I was younger, so I struggled with weight, and I went through my own weight loss journey when I was in high school. And throughout varsity, I was maintaining that healthy lifestyle. I was that one person that comes with their own lunchbox every single day without fail. So when I got into corporate, maintaining that was very difficult because of the time, because of the schedule. It wasn't always realistic. So I had the idea of how I wanted to eat, but I did not have the execution part of it. So then I'm like, even in reality, there isn't really much healthy options out there. So at the time where I was working, you would only get like your fast food and it's not really catering for someone like me. Then I started thinking, surely there should be more people out there with this specific need that I have. And that's where I started to do a bit of research to see, okay, is it possible for someone to actually cook healthy food and bring it to you? And that's how the business model was developed. The key driving force, I would say, to being an entrepreneur was that need to be better or the need to be more. So as I said, like in corporate, I was always felt like you're limited. Like if you're in a specific role, you can't do anything outside of that role. And also knowing that you have the ability to do something. I just felt that I could create something and it would be nice to see what it can become. It's more of taking risk, that just see what happens outside of your comfort zone. So the name was inspired by the idea of eating everything you want to eat in a packet. So it is nibbling on various things at the time, like healthy things, all in one place. So then it was Nibble and Pack put together. So Nibblepack is currently offering 2 services, one being for individuals, the other being for corporate. So with our individual services or personal services rather, customers are able to request a cook to come and meal prep for them. So it's basically someone coming to your home to do your meals according to your diet. So we're still making sure that people are able to eat healthy, maintaining their lifestyle, maintaining their dietary guide, with the help of someone there. Because it's, as we said before, it's not easy for you to do it on your own. And then secondly, by the corporate side, where we do catering for whether it's big or small, private events as well. We do bulk catering for staff trainings. We do activations as well, where people invite us to come to an event and do catering. We also do training meals. So if a company perhaps have a sports club, we're also able to cater for them specifically, like a canteen service on site. We're able to execute it for them. So for personal services, we actually have private chefs that go out to individuals for different needs. So sometimes the client might be requesting a chef for a dietary need, which means that the person or the family is trying to change their lifestyle and diet, but they're struggling. So that's either they don't have time to cook the meals themselves, or they don't know how to prepare a healthier meal. So we then send a chef out to your house that will help you either with meals for 3 days or 4 days. It's completely up to you. Or you can say that, hey, I just want someone to help me understand my nutrition better. I just want someone to help me know how to eat better. And that is where we can connect you with a dietitian, because we have a dietitian in-house that works with us. And we refer clients to her for her to do her dietary guide, do your DNA testing, and then the two of us work together on your menu, on executing everything for you, And then at the end of the day, the person is able to actually eat what they need according to doctor's orders. And then the other part is maybe more casual, where you want a private chef for a private dinner or a weekend away. We've had previously clients booking private chefs on their holiday homes. So if you're going out to your beach houses or your Airbnbs, usually there isn't a chef there, or you might not have the time to prepare. So that's where you're also able to actually have your own chef for that weekend, for that week, to come and prepare for you. Basically all over in Johannesburg. We've been in Cape Town, we've been in KZN, and also the Northwest. When we started in 2019, we obviously started with the prep meals that we were doing. For some time it went well because it was obviously a new idea to the market. And we had I approached corporates obviously that I knew. So I first started off with the colleagues around me, people that I could easily approach. I remember there's a time we're even doing meals for Brown Park. So it's our office with many other companies in there. So it's easy because you get access to different people. But with time, it became challenging because other brands were also doing the exact same thing. But the main challenge was that at the time we were still trying to figure it out, and we were competing with brands that have already figured out the model, and that also had, to a certain extent, they had the budget to speed up the process that we didn't have. And they were able to really get to the client much quicker than we were. At the time, it was just myself because it was a pilot as well. So I was testing out the market. I also didn't have enough hands-on to assist me. So it was those type of challenges in the beginning. Then we started looking at, okay, how else can we make the business model work? And just before we were meant to launch, we were looking at opening up a little restaurant in town. And the idea was to give healthy meals to the people in town. Because yes, there's businesses around there, people want to eat healthy, but there isn't really a place to accommodate them. Like if you go to your Bank City, and all those places are corporate places, but they don't actually have access to healthy food. So we were there, we structured, we got a place, we got a kitchen, we painted it all, and then COVID came just before our launch. And then obviously we couldn't cook anymore, the idea had to completely shut. And then we started thinking, okay, we can't cook. How can we find another way to still execute our vision, which is to help people eat better? Then we got in touch with local farmers. We had one in Vereeniging who was supplying us with organic products. So these were very small scale farmers. People would order vegetables online and we were able to take it out to people directly to their home address. And then from there on, we managed to create relationships with farmers, and we're able to use Nibblepack as a platform to advertise, if I can say, some of the local products. So we were selling eggs and we were selling honey, because there was a lady she had her own little farm, and then there was a guy who was producing his own honey, and then there was another guy who was producing his own chili. So we then started to become like a little meat to the market for individuals. After that, we managed to also reinvent the meal prep idea by now saying, okay, the cook can come to you, because we also found that with prep meals, after some time, people change their mind. Like, yes, you have a menu, but people are not always keen to eat the same menu every time. Like, people easily get tired. And people's tastes are so different that it's not possible for you to create a product that will complement everybody's taste bud. But if you have a person or individuals going to them, it is easy to then cater for the individual, like on a personal level. So the mobile cooks, currently we have about 7 mobile cooks. And we are looking into expanding, because there is room for us to expand and train more mobile cooks to go out there and cater for the need that we have. So we use social media as our way of reaching clients. And we also use, when I say social media, all types, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, we use all platforms. But what I have found has been our most successful is honestly word of mouth. If you do something proper for someone, they will refer you to someone else. That's like, you can never go wrong with it. So really our approach is always that whichever client is in front of us, we give them the absolute best service. And so I would say probably, if not 80% of our clients are referrals. I would say the culture that we have, it's quite fun. And I know the word is not always associated in business, but fun in the sense that it's a very open environment. We allow our chefs to be very creative. So our chefs are not limited to a specific area. Our chefs are not, if they want to go and do an event in Cape Town, they're welcome to do that. So our chefs are not limited to location. They're not limited to being menu planners. All our chefs, I allow them to be menu planners, simply because it gives them the room to be creative, to be innovative, to just be free to express themselves. And so that's why I say it's fun. There's no you're boxed, you can't do this, you have to do this. Obviously we have our general corporate rules, but other than that, it is a fun environment, creative environment, and a quite loving environment. So definitely, I do believe that you have to have a certain, not skill, but self-discipline if you want to be successful. When I first started in my business, I did go through a few months where I made the mistake of being relaxed sometimes, not being too disciplined with my time, not being too strict with my time. So that's something that you have to master very early in your business. You must treat your business, whether it's an idea, whether it's an actual business, you must treat it like a corporate business. You must have all the tools in place. You must have HR, even if you are the HR in the beginning. You must have insurance. You must have your legal documents in place. You must have the fundamentals of a business in place. Do not run your business like a tuck shop. It does not work. I would say the best thing I've experienced, or what I love the most about being an entrepreneur, is the difference that we've made so far. When I look at the ladies that I have, when I look at the ladies, how far they've grown, how they started, some of them were very shy to express themselves in the kitchen. Some of them were quite withdrawn. But when I look at that, I am really inspired to say that you are making a difference, whether it's a difference in 5 people or 6 people or however many. That is the most rewarding thing, being able to make a difference in somebody else's life. Because when you own a business, you're actually giving someone an opportunity to make a living for themselves and to make a difference in their family. And that's a much bigger picture than anything else. So, to be honest, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my faith, because there were many times in business where you will feel very lost. You will feel very confused. There were moments where I thought that I wouldn't make it. I was like, why did I leave my corporate career? I was doing very well. So you will get those moments where like, did I make a mistake? But then in that moment, it's when I turned to my faith, because no one was there to give me that go ahead. No, you're on the right track, keep going. No one was able to give me that assurance of, in the end, it will work out. I just had to have faith that if I believe in myself and I also believe in God, He will help me to get there. And that just kept me going.